What it do, YouTube? This is Jay Palinko here, giving you guys a little bit of an update yesterday. I went to a Vegas Regionals yesterday, and it was really interesting because, you know, due to the circumstances that there were a lot of Spyral players, those who didn't top in the last Regionals were just trying to get their invite. I managed to take a few of them out. It was only top 16 out of 134 players, and I got 22nd. I mean, not the best, you know, score in the world, but again, amongst most people, that is a really high score. But given that a little bit of a detail, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the deck profile that I did, and made a little modifications to the variant that a lot of people would play, but again, it wasn't strong enough to take down all the Spyrals to get that spot in the finals, basically. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys just how you can be the next champion. Guys, so the deck I played today was Trickstar's over in Saturday, and I'm just going to do a little deck profile for my channel. Shouts out to Simo, who I saw there. I'm not sure how he placed. Basically, I'm pretty sure he got really high. I'm going to put his link in the description if you want to go ahead and check out his YouTube page. But, you know, let's go ahead and check it out. So what I did was, when I played, I had 3 Candina. 3 Candina basically is the starter of any deck. It's the Stratos to find all of your Trickstars. It's to get, you know, your synergy plays and to make sure that if they play any spell and trap cards, they burn for 200 points of damage. So still, even though that it is a given factor, this is a must at 3. I would never see anybody play 1 or just 2, but 3. Always 3. Next we have 3 Lycris. The Lycris is basically the synergy of the deck to do your summoning build. You get 3 of these, and you're able to loop your hand as much as possible, returning things like Candina back to your hand, so that way you can maybe search for another card or any other cards. When this is out on the board, anytime they add a card or draw, they lose 200 points of damage. So this is also synergy to how the deck is supposed to run, and giving them the ability to burn really, really small. Next we have 1 Lilybell. I was thinking about running 2 of her, but 1 was okay. What Lilybell does is you can attack directly for the damage, and if you inflict damage, if any of your Trickstars are in the graveyard, you can add 1 back to your hand. So, you know, the loop is Lycris. Lycris would be able, during the battle phase, be able to be special summoned, returning this to hand. And also, as a small token, if this gets returned to the hand anywhere, either in the graveyard, on the field, it gets special summoned right away, only once per turn. So this is still an awesome card. Again, I was thinking about 2, but I kept it at 1 just for other card placement, so that's where that was. Next we had 2 Honest. I did see Honest a lot today, and given the circumstances that Honest was going out and getting to where I needed it to, it was more or less a drop for Candina, because I like to protect any monsters that are on the board and do damage, or if I need to get rid of a problem monster while I'm doing damage and you don't have an answer, just get rid of it, and then just, you know, go for your back row. So that's why I did this at 2. And sometimes I've sided it out because I never did need it, but it still was a good card to run nonetheless. Next we have 1 Gofu, because I needed it at 3. It was good at 3 back in the day, and it was topping a lot, but I guess 1 will do for now. I mean, when you get it, you get the pluses. So this is where that is. Gofu, you are my hero. For the hand traps, I did say in my last video, or, you know, in a video previous to this, when I was hanging out with my best friend, I said hand traps are the epiphany of this tournament, and it is viable that everybody should hate hand traps. I mean, but it was good for this tournament, even though I was running them. 3 Ash Blossom. I don't see myself not running any more than 3, because it has very good effects. Stop a deck card going to the graveyard, you stop a special summon from deck, and you basically stop them from adding a card to hand. So it's a first turn mistake if they were to, like, terraforming or something, but you just mainly just want to get rid of their problem cards. So 3 right now was good. Next we have 3 Drolling Lockbird. This shuts down the meta. There's a 2-card combo that goes with Trickstar Reincarnation that just immediately shuts them down from drawing after they banish their hand, and this makes no sense at all. Like, I managed to do it twice today and was able to go ahead with those problems and just eliminate my opponent from doing anything in the deck. So I like this 100%. Next we have 2 Ghost Ogre, because I think running 3 was just pretty much dead. I did see it maybe once or twice. I've seen it a lot though, like when I drew, but because that they were getting there based on their synergy, this is why I like, Ghost Ogre being at 2. I don't like running too many of this at 3, so 2 was good. 1 Maxi, good for the special summoning. A guy gave me a +5, which I didn't even realize, and I ripped a Regeki on my top deck, so that was a win. So Maxi is always good. The true item that changed the format for me and also shut down a lot of people if I didn't get like the Ash Blossom or Droll and Lockbird, 2 Ryo. 2 Thunder King Ryo. Now with 2 Thunder King Ryo, oh, there's my birds. So with 2 Thunder King Ryo, it's able to go ahead and do a whole lot of blocking them from adding cards from deck to hand. Plus, if they were to special summon and try to run this over, they will lose. I will negate the summon and send it to the graveyard. So having 2 Thunder King Ryo, even though it's at 2 right now, wish it was at 3, I still saw it a lot, and I love it a lot. So I will definitely be running Ryo. For the spell cards, we had, of course, 3 Trickstar Light Stage. You get the ability to knock a card on their opponent's side of the field to forcibly activate. If they cannot, it gets sent to the graveyard. In addition, it allows me to add a Trickstar, kind of like Union Hanger. When it's activated, I'm allowed to add a Trickstar monster from graveyard to hand. And be able to add that, so that's really good. I think 3 is good. I mean, you wouldn't want to run any more or any less than that. 3 Terraforming, because Terraforming is still viable. You need to search for that field card. Plus, it's also Ash Blossom bait if you already have one in hand, just to see what they will do, maybe getting rid of the Ash Blossom, so you'll be able to make more extending plays for bait. So running 3 Terraforming, definitely run it as bait, or if you really need it at that time, get it as fast as you can, especially if you go first. Next, we have 3 Scapegoat. Can't play any more less than that. I like 3 Scapegoat. Getting the 3 Scapegoat is very, 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 very nice to go into your link summoning plays, or if you just need to just get monsters on the board to stop them from hitting you. 3 is good. I like it a lot. I wouldn't run anything less. Plus, you need to see it somewhere, so 3 Scapegoat is nice to get. Next, we have 2 Cosmic Cyclone, because 2 Cosmic Cyclone, I think 3 is rather extenuous. I don't like running too many because there's a lot of life points to pay. Plus, you get the Banisher cards. So I like running it at 2 just to get it out and be able to play them in problematic situations like Spyral Resort. Got 1 Regeki. I don't like running the Dark Hole in the main board. I always like to use the game 2 just to see if I can get the extending play. So 1 Regeki will be fine for the spell count. Next, we have our traps. We have 3 Reincarnation, because why would you not run anything less than Reincarnation? It makes the opponent lose their advantage to have to play a different way, especially if they have a first turn hand that they can use. So when they call off, standby phase, okay, it's good, main phase, yeah, it's fine. He went to summon a monster and activate its effect. I was able to drop Reincarnation. The minute they activated, and they lost their chance to special summon whatever they needed. So this was really, really viable, and I actually like this at 3. So I would suggest running it at 3 as well. What got me, really, a lot of people don't like to do it, and these are the traps I was playing: 1 Solemn Warning and 3 Strike. I was able to see Strike a whole lot more than Warning, but when it got there, it got there. These are the stoppers of the day, as counter traps. Nothing, no effects to be activated, and especially if they special summon, I was able to stop them. And I can stop a normal summon with Warning, so that's really, really nice. And that's it for the main board. 40 cards, still very, very consistent for the extra deck. This was very fun. 1 Firewall Dragon. It's a Firewall Dragon. It's really, really nice to see it. It's good for bounce plays. It's good for adding cards out of the deck or graveyard to hand, especially if you co-link with them. So I like it a lot. Got the Borolo Dragon, which is a powerhouse that doesn't get affected by monster effects, so I really like that a lot as well. One Topologic Bomber Dragon, just so it can go into its plays that it needs to for destroying the main board. One Decode Talker, because Decode Talker is life, giving him extra power and the ability to tribute to negate a target. So it's really nice. One Gaia Saber, because it's generic, and it's a really strong generic at 26, so I like it. One Akashic Magician, which came clutch today, basically returning a monster on their side of the field that I couldn't get rid of back to their hand. So I really like it. One Holly Angel, she really came amazing. They really couldn't do anything, especially when I had two Licorice that just kept stacking up the damage, and this was at 28. So they were like, wow, I can't really run that over, and they didn't have the sleeper to get rid of it. So I really like this there. And when they were trying to gamble their plays. They had, like, you know, Super Agent trying to call the Spell Trapper monster. They even had the Tough, Super Tough, whatever his name is, to try to do the same thing to pop this, and they never got around to it. So having this out there was really, really nice, at least at the time. So I like it. One Proxy Dragon, definitely, it's just like your generic rank 2 or link 2, so you can get it out on the board. And one Link Spider. This is all for the extra deck that I was running for it. So each monster saw some play today, so that's why I threw these in here. So given the circumstances, it's really, really nice just to run those links and be able to be satisfied with your extension. Of course, we have our Exceed monsters. We have one Utopia Lightning. Definitely using these for getting rid of problematic monsters and not letting them activate anything in response. You got one Tornado Dragon. Tornado Dragon definitely suitable for destroying spells and traps during either player's turn, and I like this a lot. One Babushka. Babushka is really nice too. While it's in defense, it does a whole lot of extending plays to where they can't do anything, so I really like this a lot, being at 1. And then finally, Gaga Samurai. My birds are lovely. So with Gaga Samurai, basically just saying that I can do a double attack. So that was just an extra I threw in there, really to make it 15. And last but not least, Omega. Omega doing the job, getting them to where they can't play. And I took cards out of their hands, so Spyral was really slowed down with Omega, and I really like it. The sideboard today was really interesting, so I'm going to show this off real quick. One, Sphere Mode, just to eliminate board. 2 Lancias, so they don't banish for Sleeper during the turn I need them not to. The Darkhold that came in handy for game 2. Mind Crush, Mind Control, which is clutch. Due to the fact that monsters on the field, I can go and use those for links in my effect, so I can be able to get there. So if they have a link 2 out there on the board, I can take their link 2, use it for a link 3 or higher, so I can be able to summon my monsters. So this saw a lot of play, and this really came clutch. I love Mind Control, which was the 3. One Twin Twister, because like I said, I don't really like Cosmic Cyclone to start paying for life points to banish, but it still came in handy when I needed to destroy certain things so they don't get the effect. Pen Magicians didn't see this, but they did see Cyclone, so I like that much better. Of course, we have the 3 evenly matched. Game 2, you definitely need to run these if you don't have a strong offense on your game 1. But game 2, these definitely come in handy if you just see one of them. In one of my duels, I saw all 3 of them, and I really was like, oh boy, this is going to be rough. But I managed to eliminate his board and be able to compensate for the evenly match, which was a plus. And of course, 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance for that Pen Magician play. So that way you can at least slow them down, or just slow down the fact that they're going to be playing spells. Spirals definitely get slowed down with this, so they don't play Big Red right away. They have to wait till next turn, but usually around that time I'll be able to have something to stop them or banish their field, and they won't have Big Red. And then finally we have 3 Mind Crush, which really came in handy because it was like extra discard for them, so they don't get monsters out on the board. And you were able to call whatever they added to hand, so it didn't matter if you had Ash Blossom, it was like an extra plus where they neg basically 1 in hand. So I like these at all. But that's it for you guys. That was my basically 22nd place Trickstars. I could have went higher if I didn't get like a draw in my first round. But at least it was really nice to see how I can do playing a deck that a lot of people would say is really, really strong. But with my own twist, I threw it in there. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Comment, rate, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I do definitely have a PayPal and a Patreon if you want to go ahead and provide for those kind of details, maybe to make the channel better. I do need kind of the face cam and equipment. Tired of using my phone. But if you guys can help out, definitely appreciate that 100%. But again, this is Jay Palinko in the universe signing out. Peace out, YouTube.